Hi friends, this week I'm going to read the book Fishes by Brian Wildsmith. He's a world-renowned author of children's books and illustrator. And then after I read this book today, I'm going to give you an art exercise that you can practice when we're finished. A cluster of porcupine fish. A school of butterfly fish. A flock of dolphin. A glide of flying fish. A company of archer fish. A hover of trout. A battery of barracuda. A herd of seahorses. A party of rainbow fish. A fleet of bass. A swarm of dragonnet fish. A flotilla of swordfish. A spread of sticklebacks. A stream of minnows. So Brian Wildsmith lived a long time ago, and in the 1930s, he felt like his world was gray. He felt like the world around him felt gray. And he was inspired to create color in the world. And that's how he decided to become an artist. And in 1960, he started illustrating children's books, and he was one of the first illustrators to use paint instead of drawing. So his paintings were also used a variety of color. A long time ago, children's books didn't have a variety of color. His illustrations were also known for texture. Brian Wildsmith believed that children and art were two of the most important things. So he thought, what better way than to introduce children in their children's books to art, to make art accessible to children at a really young age. And that's what he tried to do in all of his books. He has published so many books. If you look up the author Brian Wildsmith, you will see all the books he has published. And you may be familiar with a lot of them. Chances are your parents are probably more familiar with them, that they read Brian Wildsmith's books when they were children. All right, for our activity, all you need is a piece of paper, a crayon or oil pastel, and some watercolors. I'm going to hold up this paper as an example just to show your parents that if you're going to be making a lot of art at home, this is such a good paper. It's mixed media Canson paper. It's the mixed media and it's the 9x12 size. This paper works so well for any medium, drawing, painting, collage, anything. And the weight of it is great. So this is a great paper. What you're going to do is, I'm going to show you my watercolors and my crayon or my oil pastel. So to create a Brian Wildsmith inspired painting, use your crayon or oil pastel to draw the lines of your piece. So for instance, I might choose a battery of barracuda. That's my favorite one in the Fishes book. I may look at a battery of barracuda page and draw my barracuda using my crayon or oil pastel. And then I would paint it with my watercolors. And what we call this technique is wax resist, because the paint, the watercolor paint, will not absorb into the oil pastel or crayon. And so it will resist it, and so the crayon or oil pastel will pop through the watercolor. If you want to extend this lesson just a bit further, you can use acrylic paints. You will first draw with your crayon or oil pastel. Then you will use acrylic paints for some details around your painting or drawing. Once the acrylic paint has dried, then you can use your watercolors to watercolor paint and finish your piece. All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for playing along. I miss you and I look forward to seeing you soon.